Welcome to the latest Manchester United update. Police car light from Ruben Amorim's strong words on club icons to Marcus Rashford facing fresh criticism. Things are heating up at Old Trafford. Red Circle Plus, Jadon Sancho gets unexpected support, and United fans stage a unique protest before the Arsenal clash. Stay tuned for all the breaking news, expert analysis, and transfer buzz. Let's dive in. Ruben Amorim makes feelings clear on three Man United icons after angry responses. Ruben Amorim has not enjoyed the best start to life at Manchester United. The Red Devils have continued to struggle and take on criticism since he was appointed in November. The 40-year-old has been unable to lift United from the bottom half of the Premier League. That has seen the former Sporting CP boss required to fight his corner more than he might have anticipated since arriving at Old Trafford as Erik ten Hag's replacement. And the media is not short of former Manchester United players who have tasted success at the highest level, passing judgment as the 13 times Premier League champions sit 14th in the division. The last week has even seen Amorim fire back at two of them. The ex-Benfica midfielder hasn't been afraid to speak his mind. Amorim fires back at Rooney. After establishing United's ambitions to win the Premier League following an FA Cup exit to Fulham, Wayne Rooney accused Amorim of being naive in his assessment. Working for the BBC as a pundit, United's record goalscorer said, "I think it's a little naive to say they're looking to win the Premier League because from where they are now, they're a long way off that. Get further up the table, I think that's the next step for them." That prompted an angry response from Amorim, who appeared to take aim at Rooney's management credentials. The 39-year-old was sacked by Plymouth Argyle earlier this year. "I know that in this moment everybody knows everything," he said. "I know that, and it's really easy. I was a pundit when I finished my career. I know it's really easy. Our goal is to win the Premier League. Maybe it is not with me, but our goal as a club, the board, is to win the Premier League like we did in the past. I'm not naive. That's why I'm here at 40 years old, coaching Manchester United." Amorim's more important opinion. Ahead of United's FA Cup clash, Amorim was also forced to defend his captain. The Portuguese boss established his opinion was more important than Roy Keane's after the ex-United midfielder went on a tirade about Bruno Fernandes. "I see fans at matches and they're singing for Bruno," said Keane on the Stick to Football podcast, brought to you by Sky Bet. "I see these boys and I think you're and the imposters. Talent is not enough. You keep going back to talent. Bruno's a talented player, but it's not enough," he added. "Who were you right in the dressing room with? Tony Adams. You say Tony Adams was this, Tony Adams was that, because he was a fighter. Marcus Rashford behavior proves ex-Man Utd star's theory right, as Jadon Sancho backed." A former Manchester United star claims the immense pressure of playing for the club has led to talents like Marcus Rashford being stifled. Rashford's form has improved significantly since leaving Old Trafford to join Aston Villa on loan at the start of February. The 27-year-old has yet to score for his new club, but has already set up 3 goals for teammate Marco Asensio. Rashford was frozen out at United by head coach Ruben Amorim following his arrival in November, but has benefited after being gradually bedded in at Villa by Unai Emery. Jadon Sancho created controversy last month after commenting with the word freedom when Rashford posted a series of images from his Villa debut on social media. Sancho is also out on loan from United, having joined Chelsea with an option to buy last summer. Despite attracting criticism, ex-United goalkeeper Ben Foster believes Sancho's dig and Rashford's newfound happiness can be attributed to escaping the burden of playing for such a high-profile team. The former England international, who made 23 appearances for United between 2005 and 2010, argued that many players only thrive after leaving the club. Speaking on an episode of the Fozcast podcast, Foster said, "For me, Manchester United is the hardest football team to play for in the world. So much so that virtually every player that leaves them goes on to perform better. They look happier, they've got a smile on their face, they're providing assists and they're scoring goals. Freedom," as Jadon Sancho says to Marcus Rashford. "I have this theory that when Manchester United buy a player, they feel this weight as soon as they sign them. They feel this expectation like the watching world is waiting for them to fail. That's what I think the problem is." Foster's comments come after he recently revealed how he had to leave United after experiencing a breakdown. The ex-Wrexham stopper opened up about how he struggled mentally with the pressure of playing for the Premier League giants. While he has now expressed sympathy for the plight of United's exiles, Foster previously slammed Sancho over his Freedom post. Speaking last month, he branded the situation ridiculous, before asking, "What is he doing?" That's ridiculous because he is still actually employed by Manchester United, so is Marcus Rashford. It just reeks of toxicity at United. It reeks of an unhappy place to be, that everybody's buzzing for someone to get out of the club. The club is dying. Manchester United protest group make unusual request before Arsenal game. Manchester United supporter group the 1958 have urged fans to wear black to symbolize how the club is slowly dying during a protest before facing Arsenal in the Premier League. United supporter group the 1958 have organized several protests against the Glazers in the last few years, and arranged a protest against the increase of ticket prices to £66 in December. That was in response to a mid-season decision from United to raise matchday ticket prices to £66 per game in the Premier League, which meant no concessions for children or pensioners. A fresh protest will now take place and fans will voice their anger on Sunday afternoon before facing Arsenal. The 1958 protest group have said they are up in arms about ticket prices and a lack of transparent communications. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's popularity has plummeted due to the ticket debacle, and he was confronted in January by fans, who told him he was taking the P*** and was worse than the Glazers. United's financial results have made for grim reading, and the 1958 have asked supporters to wear black this weekend as they protest to symbolize that the club is slowly dying. A spokesperson from the 1958 said, "The club is slowly dying before our eyes, on and off the pitch, and blame lies squarely at the current ownership model. In many ways, this is the biggest crisis United has faced since the Munich air disaster, which inspires our name. The club is facing financial Armageddon. Debt is the road to ruin." Sir Matt Busby would be turning in his grave at the current plight of one of the world's greatest football institutions, which is being brought to its knees and in many ways becoming a laughingstock. The club is going backwards, and it's likely to get even worse. We urge fans to rise up, unite, and join us at 3 p.m. on Sunday as we march to the ground and protest against the despised Glazers and the club's deliberate assault on fan culture. We have been working hard across both club and non-club boundaries for the betterment of fans, our club and football for some time. Today we announced protest details which will not just be limited to action at the ground. This is more than just a club to us. We more than just a number on a seat. The total debt at United stands at £731 million plus over £300 million in transfer fees owed, and the club's broadcast revenue has been slashed due to failing to qualify for the Champions League. United have axed jobs and raised ticket prices in an attempt to increase revenue. Speaking in an interview with the United We Stand magazine in December, Ratcliffe said that it doesn't make sense for a United ticket to cost less than a ticket to watch London club Fulham. Ratcliffe's comment didn't go down well with supporters, and FC 58, the fan representation division of the 1958 protest group, conducted a survey to gauge opinion on ticket prices. Manchester United should complete a summer transfer that Ed Woodward would make. Manchester United fans were that desperate to sign a new striker in the January transfer window. They joked they missed Ed Woodward because at least he could get a deal done. Woodward advised the Glazer family on their acquisition of United and took charge of full operations as the club's executive vice chairman for 9 years after a promotion in 2013. United spent over £1 billion in transfer fees during Woodward's time as executive vice chairman. His tenure was a colossal failure, and he sent the club into a spiral it hasn't recovered from. Every wrong decision made over the last 12 years has contributed to the current sorry predicament at Old Trafford, and jokey Woodward revisionism showed how desperately supporters wanted a new forward. It was gallows humor to laugh about welcoming Woodward back, and United's new regime have been attempting to distance themselves from the club's previous transfer mistakes. United have been a laughing stock in the transfer market. They have been the worst buyers and sellers of players in the Premier League, and it will take time, probably even years, to improve the club's reputation and make sides understand they will no longer pay a United tax on transfers. The profile of players who were targeted in the market was wrong for several years, and a staggering sum has been wasted on the likes of Antony, Jadon Sancho, Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria, and Paul Pogba. Only 3 of those players were signed by Woodward, of course, but his mistakes in the transfer market went far beyond that small list, and he was grossly underqualified for his position. The Glazers were responsible for employing Bristol University finance graduates, Woodward and Richard Arnold, to run England's biggest club, and they are reaping what they sowed. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who has already made huge mistakes and seen his reputation plummet, is trying to pick up the pieces, and overhauling the recruitment strategy has been a priority for Ineos. United's new regime want to make different signings, and the arrivals of Lenio Yoro, Patrick Dorgu, and Aidan Heaven demonstrate the new direction. Ineos want to sign younger players who have considerable upside and are focused on moving away from the previous transfer model. That means not entertaining deals for players like Antony and Sancho, which is objectively a good decision, but the new policy shouldn't be stubborn and ignore potential opportunities. United need a striker, and Victor Osimhen is the elephant in the room. He is the safest guarantee of goals who is attainable in the current transfer market, but he feels like a signing the previous regime would make and not the kind of signing that would appeal to Ineos decision-makers. Chelsea were in talks to sign Osimhen in August and agreed a fee with Napoli, but the player failed to agree personal terms, and the move dramatically fell through at the 11th hour.